Dripping in luxury owned by billionaires and turning heads everywhere, Rolls-Royce was established by a poor orphan with very minimal schooling. In fact, Henry Royce started his first multi-million-dollar business with merely £20 in his pocket. This is the story of the poor kid who rose from nothing to create an empire in an iconic brand valued at $7 billion. It all began in 1863 in Walton, near Peterborough, England. Frederick Henry Royce was born as the youngest of 5 children to James Royce and his wife Mary. James ran a small flour mill, but times were hard in Victorian England. This was an era of great change with factories rising and cities growing fast, but also deep poverty for many families. In a time with no help for the poor, life was hard. When Henry was just 4 years old, the family business failed, completely leading to bankruptcy. This shattered their simple life in the countryside. At this young age, Henry started his first job, chasing birds away from farmers' fields for a few pennies a day, a common task for poor children in rural areas to help protect crops. In a desperate search for work, the family packed up and moved to the crowded, smoky streets of London, a bustling city full of opportunity, but also danger, disease, and hardship. London life was considerably more difficult. The family struggled to make ends meet in the noisy, dirty city, where horse-drawn carriages rattled through foggy streets and factories releasing smoke into the sky. Tragedy struck again when Henry's father passed away, leaving his widow and the children with nothing. Henry was only 9 years old at the time, and the loss meant the end of any childhood innocence. In this harsh world, young boys often had to work to survive, and Henry was no exception. With his family destitute, he began working right away to help support them. He sold newspapers on London's bustling streets, shouting headlines to passers-by while navigating the chaos of carriages, street vendors, and delicious people. It was a dangerous job for a boy, but it brought in a few pennies. Later, he delivered telegrams for the post office, rushing across the massive city on foot or by bike with urgent messages. These early jobs taught him the importance of hard work and resilience, which helped shape the man he would become. Formal education was a rare luxury for someone in Henry's position. He managed only 1 year of basic schooling at the Korean British School, learning the basics of reading, writing, and arithmetic. But that was all. Poverty forced him to focus on survival instead of books. Yet, Henry's natural curiosity and sharp mind couldn't be held back. He was always eager to learn, even if it meant teaching himself in stolen moments after long workdays. At age 14, a turning point came. A kind aunt recognized his potential and paid for a 3-year apprenticeship at the Great Northern Railway Works in Peterborough. This was a golden opportunity in the age of steam engines and expanding railways. Henry threw himself into it, working grueling 54-hour weeks, learning mechanics, engineering, and metalwork. He endured long hours, simple meals of bread and milk, and even slept on a makeshift bed in the workshop corner. But he didn't just go through the motions. He excelled. In his spare evenings, he studied subjects like algebra, electricity, and French at a local technical institute, borrowing books and pushing himself to understand the latest ideas. These years honed his skills and built his unshakable work ethic. When the apprenticeship money ran out, Henry faced unemployment during a tough economic slump in Britain. Undeterred, he walked all the way from Peterborough to Leeds, a journey of over 100 miles, to find work at a tool-making firm called Cook & Sons. There, he sharpened his craft, making precision tools and learning more about machinery. Henry's fascination with the new world of electricity grew. In the 1880s, electric lights were starting to replace gas lamps, transforming cities at night. He moved back to London to join the Electric Light and Power Company, working on street and theatre lighting. At just 19 years old, he had risen to become the chief electrical engineer for Liverpool's first electric street lighting system, a huge achievement for someone with so little formal training. But Henry dreamed bigger than being an employee. He wanted to build his own future. At age 21, with only £20 saved, equal to about $3,000 today, he teamed up with his friend Ernest Claremont, who added £50. Together, they started F.H. Royce & Company in a small workshop in Manchester, making simple electrical fittings like doorbells, switches, fuses, lamp holders, and dynamos. It was a risky move in a competitive field, but Henry's attention to details set them apart. The business grew steadily, innovating with better designs. By the 1890s, they were producing electric cranes and motors that powered theaters, factories, and mills across Britain, and even exported abroad. In 1894, the company became a limited liability firm, and by 1899, it rebranded as Royce Limited, employing over 100 workers. This success made Henry a self-made millionaire. Henry's mantra guided everything. Strive for perfection in everything you do. Take the best that exists and make it better. When it does not exist, design it. In his personal life, he married Minnie Grace Pont in 1893. She was the sister of Claremont's wife, but they had no children. A few years in, foreign competition began hurting the electrical business, but seeking a new challenge, Henry bought a second-hand French de Cobble car to study. He was deeply disappointed by its noisy engine, vibrations, and frequent breakdowns. A perfectionist at heart, he decided to build something far superior. He completely disassembled the de Cobble car, analyzed every part, and sketched improvements. In a small workshop next to his factory, over months of careful work, Henry engineered his first automobile, a 10-horsepower, 2-cylinder marvel, with a smooth, quiet ride, reliable ignition, and innovative features. 2 years Years later, 3 such cars were built and road-ready, impressing everyone who saw them. Royce kept the first one for himself, gave the second to his business partner Ernest Claremont, and sold the third to company director and shareholder Henry Edmonds. This set the stage for a revolution in British motoring. Now meet Charles Stuart Rolls, a man from a completely different world. Born in 1877 into wealth and nobility, as the third son of Baron Langattock, Rolls grew up in luxury. He attended the elite Eton College and then Trinity College, Cambridge, where he studied mechanical engineering, one of the first to do so there. A thrill-seeker, he was among the earliest car owners in Britain. His hands-on tinkering with engines often left him covered in grease, earning him the nickname Dirty Rolls among his peers. With the help of his father, Rolls opened one of London's first car dealerships, C.S. Rolls and Company, importing and selling high-end French and Belgian cars, but he longed for a truly British car that matched his standards of quality and performance. Rolls and Royce paths crossed through a mutual friend, Henry Edmonds. Aside from being a Royce shareholder, he was also a huge car enthusiast. Edmonds praised the 10-horsepower car to Rolls, sparking his interest. In May 1904, they met at Manchester's Grand Midland Hotel. The self-made engineer from humble roots and the aristocratic salesman bonded over their passion for excellence in automobiles. Rolls test drove the car and was amazed by its silence, smoothness, and reliability. "This is the greatest motor car in the world," he reportedly said. "I'll sell every one you make." That agreement changed history. The first Rolls-Royce car, based on Royce's design, debuted in December 1904 at the Paris Salon. In 1906, they formally founded Rolls-Royce Limited, with a factory moving to Derby for better space. Beyond cars, Royce had a pioneering passion for aviation in its early dangerous days. He started with hot air ballooning, doing over 170 flights and crossing the English Channel by balloon. He co-founded the Aero Club of the United Kingdom, promoting flying. He met the Wright brothers and became one of the first Englishmen to fly as a passenger in their aircraft. Rolls achieved fame in 1910 with the first non-stop double crossing of the English Channel by airplane, flying a Wright Flyer in under 2 hours, a daring feat that made headlines worldwide. As his love for aviation grew, especially after stepping back from daily Rolls-Royce operations, Rolls repeatedly urged Royce to enter the aero engine field. He saw the future in powered flight, but Royce, cautious about the risks and focused on perfecting cars, declined each time. Tragically, on July 12, 1910, at age 32, Rolls became the first Briton killed in a powered aircraft accident. During an aviation meeting in Bournemouth, England, the tail of his modified Wright Flyer broke off mid-air, causing a fatal crash. The nation mourned the loss of this aviation pioneer. Royce was devastated by the death of his co-founder and friend, but the company pressed on under his leadership, initially staying with luxury automobiles. With the outbreak of World War I, Britain needed advanced technology to fight, and the War Office pressured Rolls-Royce to produce aero engines for the fledgling Royal Flying Corps. Despite his earlier refusals, Royce personally oversaw the design. Drawing on his automotive expertise, he created the Eagle, a massive 20.3-liter V12 engine producing up to 360 horsepower. It powered key Allied aircraft like the Handley Page bombers and Fairey seaplanes, equipping about half of the Allied air fleet by war's end. This success launched Rolls-Royce's dominance in aviation. It exploded further in World War II with engines like the legendary Merlin, a 27-liter supercharged V12 that powered iconic fighters such as the Spitfire, Hurricane, and Mustang, helping win the Battle of Britain. Royce's relentless work took a toll on his health. Overwork led to a breakdown in 1911, followed by a major operation the year after. Doctors gave him months to live, but he defied them. He relocated to the milder climate of West Wittering on England's south coast and spent winters in the French Riviera for his health. From a home drafting table surrounded by a small team of designers, he continued innovating, approving every detail of new engines and cars. His wife Minnie had passed away, and with no children, his work became his legacy. He lived by simple routines, focusing on precision until the end. Henry Royce died on April 22, 1933 at age 70, but his creations lasted. Today, his influence soars far beyond his lifetime. Rolls-Royce aero engines power modern jets and aircraft worldwide, from commercial airlines to military planes. The automotive side remains the pinnacle of luxury handcrafted masterpieces like the Phantom and Ghost, whisper quiet and symbols of ultimate success. From royal state carriages to the garages of celebrities and leaders, they embody exclusivity. In 2003, BMW acquired the motorcar division and infused it with modern technology while honoring timeless craftsmanship. Royce's story proves that from the depths of poverty and adversity, extraordinary achievements can rise. He showed that perfection comes through persistence, innovation, and never settling for less no matter your starting point. As he wisely said, "Whatever is rightly done, however humble, is noble."